Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today I'm talking about my full experience with the Battlefield 6 open beta weekend. I've played a lot, like a whole lot. My friends haven't heard from me in 3 days, all while testing different classes, weapons, vehicles and maps. I want to share not just the good stuff, but also things that made me scream at my monitor. If you've been on the fence after Battlefield 2042, or maybe you've never touched a Battlefield game in your life, this might help you decide. So grab a snack, or a medkit if you're feeling immersive, and let's get started. Just a quick reminder, this was an open beta, so what we played isn't the final version. Bugs, weird balance, and moments that make you go, huh, are expected. I went in with mixed feelings. Battlefield 2042 was like ordering a pizza and getting a salad, which technically is still food, but not what you wanted. So yeah, my guard was up. But right from my first match this weekend, I'll admit, my inner Battlefield fanboy peeked out again. First, the gunplay, and I've got to say, it's good. It's like Battlefield 4 good. Guns have real weight. Recoil feels like recoil, not like you're holding a water gun. Every shot feels like it matters. Hit detection, on point, at least for me. I didn't have any of those I swear I hit that guy moments. Except when I definitely missed and just wanted an excuse. You know the feeling. The sound design? Mwah! Chef's kiss. Every gun has its own voice. You fire an LMG across the street and it sounds like pure chaos. Fire a pistol in a hallway and it's like, hello tinnitus, my old friend. Also, attachments actually change how your gun works. Your weapon behaves differently. I found myself switching up setups after every match like I was a fashion show for guns. Now, the maps and the destruction. First of all, it's gorgeous. Battlefield has always been known for its beautiful environments, but the lighting in this one absolutely stood out. You get these golden hour moments where sunlight cuts through dust after an explosion and it looks like straight out of a war movie. The layout mixes tight choke points with open spaces. That means you can have intense close quarters fights inside buildings and then 2 minutes later be sniping across a valley. And yes, destruction is back. Buildings crumble, walls collapse, covers disappear. This is something I've missed a lot. And it's not just for show. Destruction changes the way you play. An enemy camping in a house, blow the wall out. A sniper hiding behind a crate, that crate might not be there in 2 seconds. That said, I felt like parts of the map are a bit too cramped for certain modes. In Breakthrough, for example, the fighting can get claustrophobic with grenades flying everywhere and little room to flank. That's something DICE might want to tweak before launch. This brings us to vehicles. The vehicles. This is Battlefield, so of course there are tanks, jeeps, helicopters and all of that. I tried most of them and here's the good news. Driving feels smooth and aiming from vehicles feels better than in 2042. Helicopters are responsive without being too easy, which is a nice balance. I hopped in a tank expecting to feel like a God of War. Instead I felt like a cardboard box with wheels. These things go down fast. A couple of rockets and you're scrap metal. Armor melts faster than it should. A couple of well-placed rockets and you're done. I get that they don't want tanks to dominate the match, but right now they feel more like big targets than actual powerhouses. On the flip side, anti-vehicle weapons feel satisfying. Hitting a moving chopper with a rocket is pure dopamine. But again, balance will be key and you don't want every vehicle to feel like a waste of points. Performance-wise, I was very pleasantly surprised. On my PC, running a fairly modern CPU and GPU, the game stayed smooth most of the time, even in big firefights. The only glitch I had experienced was with missing text in the main menu, but that can be easily fixed when you Google it. I did see reports from other players about microstutter and crashes, especially on consoles. Some PC players hit a wall with the secure boot requirement. Basically, your BIOS has to be set up a certain way for the game to even run. That's the kind of tech hurdle that can frustrate casual players, so I hope EA explains it better before launch. But, if I have to be honest, it's not that hard to do, and if this can stop cheaters, I'm all in, baby. Graphically, the game is immersive and gorgeous, but not so demanding that it's unplayable on mid-range systems. DLSS and FSR options are there for people who want to boost performance. I haven't personally tested those options, but I will look further into it for you guys. So post down in the comments what do you think of them in game. By the way, if you still aren't a subscriber to our channel, do yourself some good and subscribe. You will help us a lot on our path to global dominance. The community energy is absolutely crazy. The servers are packed. Sometimes you had to queue, which is normally annoying, but here it felt like a badge of honor. The queue was big in numbers, as you can see on the screen, but usually it took me between 10 to 20 seconds to get in, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I saw some pictures online that showed 30,000 people in queue, which I don't imagine going that fast in the first hours of the early access beta. I played over 20 to 30 games in the first day and I haven't heard anyone in voice chat. Text chat was active, but it was mostly from people whining about strategies and nothing related to bugs or issues. It reminded me of older Battlefield launches where everyone was just exploring and having fun before the meta gets too serious. Now, with the good out of the way, let's talk about some stuff that needs work. Like I said earlier, tanks feel underpowered. That's a balance pass. Some parts of the map, especially in breakthrough mode, feel too tight, leading to spammy grenade fights. Spawn locations could use a little tuning also. There were a few times I spawned into instant death because the enemy was right there. Battlefield has always struggled with that, but it's worth mentioning. Finally, audio balancing. While weapon sounds are great, footsteps sometimes get drowned out in big fights. That makes it harder to track enemies nearby, especially if you're not watching the radar. So, what's the final verdict? Well, overall, I'm pretty impressed. Battlefield 6 feels like a proper Battlefield game again. The gunplay is strong, destruction is meaningful, and the community seems absolutely hyped. It's not launch ready yet, so we've got some balance issues, minor bugs, and some map tuning to do, but for a beta, it's in a much better state than I expected. If you're a longtime fan who felt let down by 2042, this just might pull you back in. If you're new, it's a great time to jump in and experience what Battlefield is all about. You will have a lot to learn, and you might even be tempted to try the older Battlefields and their single player campaigns. Do Bad Company 1, 2, and Battlefield 3. Trust me, you won't regret it. Alright, these were my first impressions of the Battlefield 6 open beta. If you played it, drop your own thoughts in the comments. What did you love? What do you think needs fixing? I'll be covering the full release here on our channel. So if you want to see more gameplay, tips and updates, make sure you like this video and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.